All right, we're live.
Hello, hello. Happy Aloha Friday.
Happy Aloha Friday to all of our 0 viewers out there right now on Facebook or YouTube.
They'll be coming. They're on their way.
Glad you guys could join us today. So, Adrian, tell us about you. How did you get into the real estate business, and why are we talking about what we're talking about today?
Okay, so I purchased my
Hawaii?
first home. Yeah,
What's
so
that?
how did I get to Hawaii? I was in the military. I joined the military. This was my first duty station. And here comes Byron Tucker, our expert on the R&D tax credit.
Yeah, we'll bring him on in a minute. Let's finish with our intros. And then how'd you get into real estate?
So how I got into real estate was, I got out of the military and decided that I was going to work with the military on building wealth through real estate. And
Awesome.
Ever since I've been doing that and growing our team and our brand, and always wanting to learn and grow and give back.
Okay.
And how about you, Tilio?
Yeah, and then I'm born and raised here. Got into real estate because I just always wanted to get into. I've always been in sales all my life. Just wanted a bigger payout for time on task. Next up, I want to introduce Byron. We're doing this kind of like local style. Tell us about you a little bit first. Now, you lived in Hawaii. How did you end up to Hawaii? And how did you end up coming to Hawaii? And then what took you back? What took you to the mainland?
Well, I met a local girl, and some of your local fans are going to like this. Can you hear me okay, first of all?
Perfect.
Yep, you
awesome.
Sound great.
So 22 years ago at, drumroll, Rumors in the Ala Moana Hotel, I met my wife the first night there. She's a local girl, grew up in the city, and I met her on vacation my first night there. So she came to California with me for about 7 years, and I always wanted to be Magnum PI and all that stuff. I surf, and so we moved out to Hawaii in 2014. 2005. But we had already been going back and forth the first few years, so I was pretty familiar with Hawaii. But we were there from 2005 to 2014, so she still has a lot of family there, and of course we have a lot of friends and family there. And we were going to come out there in April, but COVID hit, so we didn't want to be quarantined, so we didn't come. So yeah.
And here we are. We're going from
hopefully soon though, Byron, because now we're going to be able to do the test and then no quarantine. I think that they moved the date to end of October, so
yeah,
hopefully
we'll
I'll be able to visit soon.
I like how my shirt coordinates with Atilio's. It's nice.
Yeah, so
I'm wearing pink also.
Yeah, and then Byron,
perfect.
I don't know if you got the update, but unfortunately, Rumors closed down. But that was some good memories, huh?
I did. Where do people our age go for 80s music? 80s, 70s and 80s.
No one's going anywhere right now.
That's true.
Pandora and Home Sheltering. That's our new nightclub. Yes. Pandora and Home Sheltering.
And karaoke.
That's right.
Yeah. So anyway, what I wanted to do, just play a couple seconds of a video to kind of like introduce people to the concept of what we're going to be talking today. Is my screen blinkety blinkety?
Yep, there it is. It's
okay.
Up.
We'll just play like 30 seconds of this video, and then we'll roll into the rest of the show. There we go. Let's see here. And actually, I forgot to hit the. So I'll just wait a couple seconds, and 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1.
Did you know that most small and medium-sized companies are leaving significant tax on the table? Are you aware that the government has enacted legislation specifically designed to provide businesses like yours with much-needed tax relief? For example,
Tilio, the sound
Congress introduced the Economic Recovery
I don't know that that's going to work for whatever reason.
And within it, the research and experimentation tax credit, also known as the R&D.
But it's called the R&D
tax credit. This provision was originally set to expire.
The R&D tax credit, and that is what we're bringing Brian on today to talk about. But when he's talking, it's going to be a lot smoother than the video.
Yeah.
I turned my microphone off, and maybe that was the reverberation we were hearing there. So
it's okay. I think Brian's going to do a better job of explaining it than that guy.
Yeah, sometimes
exactly.
That guy's kind of too polished. You want someone that's real like me that, doesn't talk perfectly. So, but yes,
all right.
We do R&D here we're in Austin, Texas. So do you have questions for me, or do you want me to give you a quick spiel about us? How do you want me to do it?
Yeah, Brian, give us the overview of what is this tax credit?
So
tell us about your company, then tell us about the tax credit. Go for it.
Our company is in Austin, Texas. We have several different CPA firms that we work with that are experts at R&D. So we're not replacing a business's current CPA. They're going to stick with the same CPA and get their taxes done that way. What we do is completely different. But our CPAs have been well vetted, master's degrees in tax work, and so they're in good hands. But we're in Austin. We work in all 50 states. We go back 3 years federal, and we can actually do 4 years state too for some businesses. So, but yes, we've been in business now. We've been working with R&D for about 3 years now, but our CPAs have been doing this for roughly, decades. So as far as the tax credit, how does that, it's actually been around a long time. We were talking about rumors in the 80s. It actually started in 81. We started making some inferior products, and we're losing a lot of business to the Japanese and other Asian countries. So we created this tax credit called the Economic Recovery Tax Act. And in essence, it's just a bucket of money. They're credits. So these aren't write-offs. This is a different concept. If the business exhibits a particular kind of behavior, and if they qualify, we take these tax credits and replace the taxes that the business owner paid, and the business owner gets that back in the form of a refund. So we can actually go back 3 years. It was renewed 15 times, and it became a law in 2015. It's now called the PATH Act. It's a law. It's permanent, and this is something we're going to be able to do for businesses every year after we recover the 3 years taxes.
All right, so let's unpack that a little bit. Why don't we start off with, they always say that a good salesperson is pretty impactful, but what's actually even more effective is an actual testimonial. Adrian, you got a testimony or personal experience you want to share regarding this program?
Sure. Yeah, actually, we both have the testimony working with Brian and his company and helping us to go through our past 3 years. And it was not a painful experience. There was just like a basic questionnaire, and they were able to go through and recover. I think it was about $30,000 for each of us as far as these tax credits. So we are believers and fans of this product, and we think that. Well, I tell every business owner that I possibly could think that would be able to benefit from these R&D tax credits.
Yeah, we've helped a lot of real estate companies. That's a big one for us. Realtors, and what kind of behaviors does a company need to exhibit? That's probably going to be a big question. People say, well, what niche, Brian? What companies are you looking for? And I say, well, if they have employees and if they pay taxes, let's see if they qualify. There's no risk in seeing if you get qualified. If you don't qualify, you pay nothing. So, but any company that's experimenting, testing, creating, manufacturing, improving something, whether it's a process or a product, they qualify. So, you know.
So Brian, with like this whole having to pivot and most businesses needing to move to a virtual type of business, I would think that you'd have a lot more businesses that would certainly qualify at this point.
Yeah, I mean, it's just when we're creating a case for getting these credits back, the more R&D related activities, the better. So most companies are already going to kind of qualify in and of itself, but the more experimentation, the more testing, the more products that they're utilizing with their company, the better chances, the more credits they're going to get back. So it definitely doesn't hurt.
So businesses are rewarded for testing out new technology and new product through these tax credits.
Yes, testing, and anybody that's making anything. I mean, you realtors make a lot of videos. I see your folks' videos all the time on the internet, and your LinkedIn tours and your, all this education stuff you do. I mean, a lot of that's proprietary. You're creating, you're educating, you're creating marketing, so that's.
And you know what, Brian, we like to always have fun. I just wanted to share with our viewers here, we're a really serious real estate company, and Brian is more handsome. In fact, the reason why I'm saying that is that I think you should take over the hosting position for this guy because you're better looking.
Oh, thanks. That's quite a compliment. Is your eye doctor
way better looking than this guy?
Who is that guy? Where are you getting that from?
Who is
that
food guy.
That's the guy from what is it? Dives, Dumps, and Diners.
I don't know.
And he's on
He's on his website.
Yeah.
Is he part of the R&D tax credit?
I was just saying that in case the R&D tax credit thing doesn't work out, or maybe in addition to, you should host your own show and check out. You should just be walking into people's places of business and saying, "Hey, I looked at your tax returns from last year, and we could have saved you so much on your taxes," and then bite into a big hamburger.
Yeah.
No, I mean, we're on a serious note. When and I'll talk about it like I'll come to a perspective what people are thinking right now, because I was thinking in the beginning like, I don't know. I mean, we were open to it because we know Brian. Brian was you worked with us in the beginning, way back in the day, back in Hawaii as a mortgage broker. Totally trust
Brian
him.
like over 15 years maybe.
A
long time.
06.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
14 years. We trust Brian.
And one of the things I said was like, I think Adrian, you got into it, but I was like procrastinating, and Brian stayed persistent with me, and then finally we just said, let's just fill it out and see what happens. And then sure enough, how much money did we save, Adrian? And
I think between the two of us, because we have the business together, it was about $60,000 in taxes between the both of us.
That's a lot of kala, as we say in Hawaii.
And there have been some other business owners that Brian has been able to help that have been in real estate that have had an upwards of over $100,000 that they've been able to recover. So this is no joke.
Brian, how did you come across this?
Well, to kind of give you the backstory on how we got started, I usually don't like to get back into the sticks too far, but I work with an insurance company that's been around for 30 years, and we deal a lot with finance. So our company actually qualified for this. We got money back. Why? Because we have proprietary software that we work with clients. We're able to plug in some information, numbers, and kind of spits out, so to speak, some information that's good for the clients. And so we thought, man, this is a great opportunity. We could do a better job than the company that did it for us. This is a great thing to add for our clients. So let's start our own consulting firm. So we we had teamed up with a company for about a year, learned the nuts and bolts of it, learned about the process, brought them a whole bunch of business, and then we branched off on our own, hired our own CPAs that work with us, and they're very reputable CPAs. And anybody wants, I can send a list of our CPA firms. They're very reputable, and they'll take good care of you. But that's kind of how we got started. So as a company, we're relatively new, approximately 18 months old, but the CPAs that we work with have been doing this for decades. So
yeah. And good job on that. Yeah. First of all, super awesome for us. But Adrian, what else? Or Brian?
Well, should I give you some ideas of what kind of businesses we've helped?
Yes, that would be wonderful.
Okay, so a big one is construction and trades, and that's kind of lumped into the real estate market. Anybody that's building anything, creating anything, electricians, plumbers, roofers, all qualify for this. Why does a roofer qualify for this? It seems weird, but what is a roofer doing? They're meeting with either a business owner or a homeowner, figuring out what kind of roof they need, what kind of materials they're going to incorporate, and then they're designing a new roof. They strip off the material, or they actually manufacturing a new roof. Same thing with plumbers and electricians. They do the same thing. I helped an electrical contractor about a month ago get back about $150,000, which is a lot. We help flooring companies, pool design companies. Dentists is a huge one that we help a lot of. Dentists build mouths. They experiment with a lot of materials. There's new software and machinery. I mean, I'm sure whenever you go to the dentist, they got some new machine for scanning your mouth and making crowns and
X-rays. 3D printing.
Yeah, so they're a big one. Dentists make a lot of money. They pay a lot of taxes. The more taxes you pay and the more percentage of the work that you do is R&D, the more you get back, if that makes sense. So, dentists, we've helped breweries, wineries, even some, marketing companies. Yeah.
Yeah. The point being is you don't know what you don't know. I mean, if they were to, so you guys can go to our website, teamlally.com/R&D, whatever, tax credits. If you just go to
I put the link. The link is in the comments, and
nice.
They can just click right there on the link.
Yeah, just fill out this
and
form.
I can pre-screen too. I mean, if somebody wants to give me a 5-minute phone call, just by talking to them, I'm pretty sure I'm going to be able to say, no, probably not, or yes, you probably can't. One of the big things here is you need to pay taxes. If a company has been getting, hasn't been paying taxes for a couple of years, they write a lot of stuff off, they're not going to qualify because there's no taxes to recover. One of the stipulations is they have to pay taxes, but I would say if you own a business, it doesn't hurt to at least give me a call and see if we can qualify. And if you can't qualify, you pay nothing.
Yeah, so you can either give Brian a call, let him know you heard about him from Team Lally. Friday, I want to say Friday Night Live, like it's football time, but we just call it Friday Live. Kind of like, how we came up with this? We call it Friday Live, but we also call it fried rice because it's like you talk about and you make your entrees during the week, and then you get all the leftovers, chop them up, and then fry them up with the rice and serve them up on the weekend. So this is kind of like our Friday Live fried rice show where we kind of talk about topics we talked about during the week and then introduce them to our viewers. You can either go to our website, fill out that form, or give Brian a direct call. Brian,
and then we're also going to have Brian on our radio show as well. Yeah. So
and I think what the key thing is, like, people are like, well, Attilio, Adrian, you guys are in Hawaii and Brian's in Austin.
He's got an 808 number though.
He got an 808 number.
Still 808.
Still 808. And
that is your number, right, Brian? 224-6309.
I still got Choke family and friends over there, so
yeah. So if you were to ask me and Adrian, should we call Brian and check this out because we got nothing to lose? You know what I would tell you? Shoots.
Hey, speaking of fried rice, my wife, all her life, she just recently made musubis for the first time.
Oh, wow.
You can
Spam
put that
musubi.
musubis. So it's pretty cool. I'm
Yeah.
eating musubis now for snacks like I used to in Hawaii. It's great. Anyway. So.
I know, you bring that into the office people will be like, what the heck is that? That looks like half a rice spam sandwich. If for those of you out there in Facebook, you're like, what is a spam musubi? We should, maybe we'll pull up the picture here before we wrap it up. We don't, it's short and sweet with these things. They're 30 minutes. We got about 3 minutes left, 4 minutes left.
Well, I want to talk about like the actual process, right? Because I think like business owners, they're busy and they're like, this is just a lot. This could be a lot of work. This is going to be a hassle. And, I just want to say like, we're super busy too. And Brian took a lot of that, the hassle of it off of our plate. So maybe you could share with our viewers like exactly what kind of paperwork and time commitment they would need to get this going.
It's depend on the business and the complexity of the business. Actually, realtors take more time. Why? Because for you, I know you to experiment with lots of software. I mean, CRM systems, tracking systems, marketing systems, all kinds of stuff. So it takes time to kind of list those. And I kind of made it easy. I have a cheat sheet for realtors that kind of lists a lot of the software. So it kind of makes it a little easy for the real estate companies. Electrical companies, for example, or a contractor, not quite as complicated. I try to steal as much, not steal, but borrow as much information from a company's website. I fill out as much of it as possible before I send the qualification paperwork over to the business. So if they have a website, I can kind of get it started for them. It can take as little as 20 minutes on up. I'm working with one company that's got a lot of complexities and they're going to take more time. So it just depends on the business, but you get out of it what you put into it. If they have a multifaceted company, it's worth it to take a little bit of extra time, and it might take a week, week or two in between their job. I mean, like with real estate agents, y'all are so busy. You might work on it for a half an hour and then you got to make phone calls and run. So it depends, but it doesn't take that much. For what you get out of it, the amount of money you get back, the ROI is definitely there.
So
the ROI, because
I was going to say, speaking of like what the time that you put into it, how long does it take typically until this shows up? What's the timing?
So what happens is that, I'm available, there's a 5-hour time difference, but I can still take phone calls pretty late. But we get the paperwork filled out, send it to an associate. We send a link to the business owner. They upload their last 3 years tax returns. Our CPA grabs those, and within 3 to 5 days, we produce what's called a credit projection report. And it kind of shows approximately what the company's going to get back, but it's pretty in that range. If the business owner wants to proceed, they sign a consultation agreement. The consultation agreement, if the business owner signs that, we go ahead and amend the returns. So you folks have been through it. We FedEx you the amended returns. Usually it takes about 3 to 5 days to amend the returns. Then we got to FedEx them over to you. You take out the amended returns, each self-addressed envelope. You put each return in there, sign it, boom, 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 mail it off. And then it goes to the IRS. As far as the IRS is concerned, they're saying for amended returns, 16 weeks. But keep in mind that we're in the middle of a pandemic. So we can't say how long it's going to take. They're going to get their money back with interest. It's a great investment of the time, but 16 weeks possibly. But like I said, we're in the middle of a pandemic and there's no precedence for.
Well,
so be patient. It could be a little longer than the 16 weeks.
Well, be patient, and those are key questions. But I'll tell you number one thing, probably some people are thinking, what is this going to cost me? How do you guys calculate the cost?
The cost is 33% of what the business owner gets back. So if the business owner gets back $100,000, the fee is 33% or $33,000. When they sign the amended returns in the beginning, they can only pay half of the fee, which is actually reasonable, being that they've already done most of the work. The returns have been amended. From that point on, it's just tracking the file with the IRS. But we're only asking for half in the beginning. And then when the business owner gets the money back from the IRS, they pay the other half.
And thank you for being right up front with that, because correct me if I'm wrong, you guys are not a nonprofit organization. You're here to make money just the same as the businesses that you're helping. How I look at it is that, I'm all about paying taxes. Don't get me wrong. I'm not going to pull a Willie Nelson, or what was the other guy? Blade Runner dude. I mean, the vampire hunter guy, Wesley Snipes. I'm not going to pull a Willie Nelson or a Wesley Snipes and be like, hey, I'm not paying my taxes. I just want to make sure that we're paying the right amount of taxes. And that's what Brian and his company is doing, is making sure you're paying the right amount of taxes and getting back the credits you deserve.
And there's a video I've sent too, it's what you're entitled to, because the big companies have been taking advantage of this for a while. Amazon, lots of people know about Amazon not paying taxes, and Netflix. That they're doing R&D, and they're getting a lot of money back. So the huge corporations have been getting this, but what we're doing, we're filling a niche that most business owners don't know about this. 90% of the business owners are not taking advantage of this, and it's there. It's real. It's not risky. It's it's there for business owners. And what do business owners do with it? Well, they put it back into the business, especially now with the things going on with businesses slowing down. Some extra capital certainly wouldn't hurt,
especially in these times and days. So would you say, Brian, would you say that with the money that you could have people come back in their taxes, could these people possibly be rolling in spam musubi?
Yeah, I mean, if they're frugal, if they're, it's a good snack. It's a good in-between meal. You don't have to have a particular income to enjoy a good musubi. My wife's better than that, by the way.
Yeah, well, people are
like, didn't add anything to that. That's just kind of the plain one.
Well, and then people are wondering, like, what the heck is spam musubi? Now you know. And if you want a recipe, go to Uncle Jerry's Kitchen over here. I'm sure you make one. Or call up Brian. Send him your tax returns. Ask him, hey, give me that spam musubi recipe, and that's it. Get all that money. Yeah, get all that money back, and you be rolling in some spam musubi. That's our theme for today. We're having fun with it. The point being, Adrian and I have personally saved thousands of dollars. I'm talking thousands of dollars. It was well worth it. People might be thinking, a third, woo, that's a lot of money. But, I mean, let me ask you something.
We wouldn't have had it before.
No. And look at it this way. Would you invest 30 grand to get back to 70? I would.
Yeah.
And the thing is, too, is this is the IRS. And do you want, Joe's CPA Shack doing your R&D for you, or do you want really good CPAs? And our CPAs stand behind their work. In the consultation agreement, there's specific verbiage that says if there's any kind of inquiry or issue, our CPAs will defend their work. So, sometimes getting the best, especially when it comes to dealing with IRS, you don't want a discount CPA. So
yeah, and you heard of Defend Hawaii? They got Brian is working with Defend CPAs. They come with the AK-40. No, they don't come with AK-47.
Yeah, they still make those shirts.
They still Defend Hawaii. So defend your taxes. It's okay to pay taxes, but pay the right amount.
Pay your fair share.
Pay your fair share of your taxes. We're not saying this is some way to skate out of paying taxes. It's just get the money back, put it back into the economy, and help your family.
Yeah, it actually creates more tax revenue, because if business can expand, put more money back into the business, that helps everybody. So. Yeah,
win-win for everybody. Well, thank you, Brian. Thank you so much for being on our Fried Rice Friday Live, and talking about spam musubi, talking about life in Hawaii, and more importantly, R&D tax credits through the PATH Act. Again, go to our website, fill out that form, call Brian direct. Anything else, Adrian or Brian?
Nope. And then we're going to have Brian on the radio show real soon as well. So stay tuned for that.
Shoot. show with one jazz hand with a shaka, jazz hand shaka.